Episode 2, Before the Fall. Chapter 1. Avenya woke to the sound of boiling tea, a loud screeching noise that cut through the quiet. "You finally woke up," a voice said from the other room. It sounded older, worn at the edges, but with more energy than she expected. It reminded her of her master, though not quite. "I'm sorry. I will just leave at once," Avenya said. "No. Just give me 1 minute. Please." The sound of glass followed. Then he revealed himself. He had a long grey beard and rugged robes that had seen better days. One of his arms was missing, and in its place only stood a metal chunk, almost as if there was something there, but had been sealed off for years. "Have a seat, please," he said. "Thank you for the tea. I appreciate it," Avenya replied. "I know you," the man said, settling across her. "In fact, I've heard about you for a long time, and I'm impressed." "Thank you. But for what? What have I done to impress you?" There was genuine curiosity in her voice. What could this stranger be impressed about? "You fought against the regime, and you lived to tell the truth," he replied. "I also know what happened in Castile, how you defeated the nightmare, how you defeated something beyond our comprehension." "Thank you, but please," Avenya looked around. "What is happening here? It wasn't so long ago that Ohtheastudios was beautiful." The man's expression shifted. A sadness moved through his eyes, the kind that had broken something in him long before this moment and had simply never healed. "I'll tell you," he said quietly. "Please, take a seat." Ohthea. Episode 2, Before the Fall, Chapter 2. Over 27 years ago, Ohtheastudios was going through a golden age. It was beautiful. Oran and his council created a city based on progress and advancement. When Oran resigned, I was voted by the people to take power. Vernus paused, his eyes distinct. During this time, Mononamon was born. He was an Earthrosian native, Nyrixa, one of the jellyfish people, firstborn to one of the wealthiest families in the city, the eldest of 8 children, 3 brothers and 4 sisters. But he was different. He was one of the few individuals gifted with the ability to use magic. It is believed that the god Aetherion was the one who blessed him with power. He paused in his seat. Mononamon was sent to the Ohtheastudios Institute of Magic, where he had become the youngest and most powerful wizard the city had ever seen. As he grew older, he eventually became president of the institute, supervising all of the professors and students. Vernus's voice quieted slightly. During this time, Mononamon befriended Volcris, a controversial human scientist, otherwise known as the Angel of Death, known for his unethical experiments, particularly his work with null oil. And there was another, Vol, a precise assassin who found Mononamon sometime during his years at the Institute. Nobody knew exactly where he came from, or why he chose to align himself with Mononamon. But once he did, his loyalty was absolute, cold, unwavering, the kind of loyalty that does not require explanation because it already has calculated that an explanation is unnecessary. Everything was perfect for Ohtheastudios until... He paused again, and a tear fell down his cheek. "An unknown assailant hacked into our machines and ordered them to attack us all. They also created Darvos, a monster of machine with a deadly protocol. Ohtheastudios was caught completely off guard, almost all of our soldiers were killed or hacked into. During this time, Mononymon was attacked at the Institute. He quickly killed the machines, but the city was in chaos. Every organic life form was under attack. Most of the living soldiers were killed swiftly. We eventually found Zirak, a powerful djinn, and made a deal with him. Free him from his lamp, but fight under us to defeat the machines. We fought back hard. Volcris attempted to launch a virus to destroy the machines, but the cyber attack was far too strong. I determined that I must morph myself with magic to fight back. So did Volcris. I turned my arm into a force projection weapon, able to control metal, project energy, and create force fields. Volcris, on the other hand, used null oil to mold himself with machine. He gave himself greater physical strength, and the ability to fire or inject oil directly. Enough of it injected will lead to instant death. Mononymon ordered Vol to stay back to protect the city. It was already in chaos and needed a leader to keep it in check. And there it was, the four of us. Zirak, myself, Volcris, and Mononymon. We fought Darvos together. Vernus's jaw tightened at the memory. Darvos was a dragon-like machine, dark blue with silver veining. He could breathe molten metal. He defeated Zirak almost instantly from a direct blast that nearly killed him. I used my powers to damage Darvos' body, forcing the metal parts onto each other. That only made it angrier, and it turned on me directly. Mononymon saved me. A beat of silence cut through the air. Volcris attempted a cyber attack, but Darvos used his tail and knocked him unconscious before it could even take effect. Mononymon realized the odds were stacked against him, so he fired the most powerful beam of void light I have ever witnessed. It is said that even the god Aetherion felt it. It hit Darvos head-on. Darvos fired back. A battle of pure magic began. Mononymon was getting tired though. He knew that sooner or later, Darvos would overwhelm him. So with his analytical mind, he broke off his attack mid-blast and flew clear. Before Darvos could react, Mononymon threw several objects at him simultaneously, successfully disorienting him, and then fired the beam on an equally powerful blast that injured Darvos severely. By that point, Volcris had regained consciousness, and he launched another cyber attack immediately. This time, it worked. He successfully shut down Darvos. The four of us had defeated him. Vernus stopped, but Mononymon realized his family was completely vulnerable. He rushed home to his family's estate. The old man looked at the floor. There was nothing left. Just bodies, his siblings, his parents, all of them. He was completely broken. Had he been there, he thought, maybe he could have saved them. That moment shattered him completely. He changed. He determined that if his family possessed magic, they could have protected themselves. And from that determination, he decided that every individual should be granted power, even something small. Everyone. No exceptions. We can't allow that, Avenya said sternly. Does he think he's a god? Mononymon has good intentions, Vernus replied. But he plans to destroy the gods, their servants, and every magical artifact that exists. We can't let that happen. We need the gods to remain powerful. Otherwise the balance will shatter. It will allow dark entities to break into our realm. I know, Vernus said quietly. I know. He looked at her. I tried to stop him, but the promise of gaining magic kept the people on his side. A long pause. So I tried to kill him. Ohthea. Episode 2, Chapter 3. Monadamon, I must put an end to this. Vernus's voice ran across the chamber. Vernus. Monadamon's voice was quiet, sad even. I have no intention of hurting you. I only want the greater good. The greater good? Vernus stepped forward. Do you know what separates us from the gods? If you succeed, there will be no barrier between our universe and the hollow between. Then why don't the gods destroy it? Monadamon's eyes burned. With my creation, the final variable, we will not only become gods ourselves, but destroy every dark realm that threatens us. The hollow between will be shattered, and I will create the perfect world. And if you fall, Vernus snapped, our world will be destroyed. You may destroy one dark realm, but you will be weakened, and the others will consume everything in their sight. Vernus, my old friend, please, I only want what's best for us. No, Vernus cut him off. You want power. That's all you ever have wanted. He straightened. You leave me no choice. By the Democratic Republic of Ohtheastudios, you are sentenced to death. Before Monadamon could respond, Vernus seized the debris around him, chairs, metal scraps, broken fixtures, and with a single motion of his mechanical arm, forged them together mid-air. Joints locked, plates fused. Within seconds, a construct warrior stood assembled from the wreckage of the room itself. Its frame cued, but solid, built in the time it took most men to draw a sword. He sent it forward, but Monadamon destroyed it instantly, hurling the debris at Vernus. Vernus raised a force field, knocking the debris casually aside. He moved quickly, using his mechanical arm to gather scrap metal around him and forge it into shape. Within seconds, a powerful cannon had been built, a weapon made of energy built from the battlefield itself. Monadamon sent a beam of void light directly at Vernus. Vernus raised a defensive field, but the beam was stronger than expected. It broke through, but the field absorbed enough of the impact to keep him standing. As the cannon began charging, Monadamon noticed. He hurled debris at the cannon immediately, trying to destroy it before it could fire. But Vernus anticipated this. The moment Monadamon's attention shifted, he channeled every remaining force of energy through his arm and unleashed it in a single devastating blast. It caught Monadamon off guard. He felt the impact. It staggered him. But it wasn't enough. Vernus was powerful, an innovator, a creator, a builder of extraordinary things. But he was not a warlock. Monadamon was something else entirely. Vernus was nearly drained, but he wasn't finished. He recharged the cannon and fired. But Monadamon was already moving. He seized a large chunk of metal telekinetically and placed it directly in the beam's path. The cannon tore through the metal, but in the same motion, Monadamon redirected the cannon toward Vernus and fired his beam simultaneously. Vernus raised everything he had left, but it wasn't enough. The beam broke through his force field and struck his mechanical arm directly. His arm was destroyed. The force of it sent Vernus across the room and into the far wall. He lay still for a moment. His equipment was broken. His energy was gone. He stared upward, generally confused about why he was still breathing. He must have been holding back, he thought to himself. Monadamon floated down toward him slowly. His expression carried something between sadness and relief, as if he had hoped this wouldn't happen, and had known it always would. Vernus, I am sorry, he said quietly. Vernus said nothing. He had no response left in him. As a gesture of gratitude, you will be spared, Mananwan paused. But keep in mind, you are always welcome here. He turned and floated away and left Vernus alone with the wreckage. Ohthea, Episode 2, Chapter 4. I failed, Vernus said. The words came out quietly, like something he had been carrying for a long time. I could have stopped him, but it was too late. Avenya looked at him steadily. He will fall. I promise you that. But tell me, there is something else going on. I need to know this. Many of my people have disappeared. Evidence links their disappearance to Ohtheastudios. What could be going on? Vernus let out a sigh, a sad, dark one. Volcris. Vernus's voice darkened, otherwise known as the Angel of Death. He has been attempting to make himself stronger using null oil, but he knows that too much would kill him. He is using your people like guinea pigs. Avenya was furious. Her face twisted into anger, sadness, pain. I cannot let this go on. She paused. Vernus, thank you. Before she could respond, a hoofbeat interrupted her. As she turned her head, it was Franklin. Vernus had taken care of him while she was gone. Please, save our city, Vernus said, with a tear in his eye. Franklin carried her out of Ohtheastudios like he understood what was at stake. But Franklin's hoofbeats were just loud enough for multiple Ohtheastudian guards to attack her. She didn't slow. Any attacker who drew close enough was met with a barrage of fire that shattered them before Franklin broke his rhythm. The border closed, but that would not stop her. She knew that she needed to get behind the border to escape. Multiple ships began patrolling her. Blasts of energy exploded behind her as she raced to the border. However, they were too slow, and so were the guards as she released a powerful barrage of fire that successfully broke through the border. She couldn't stop. She needed to keep going. But as she raced out of Ohtheastudios, she could feel Franklin slowing. She could feel her breath slowing. She couldn't make it to Castile in time. She would slow, and it would only be a matter of time till the guards caught up with her. She must make camp. She must quiet down. The feeling of iron in her breath weighing down her thoughts like chains bound together. She guided Franklin into a forest, hidden from the main road. A small, beautiful cherry blossom tree stood at the edge of the tree lines, its branches catching the last of evening light. Franklin slowed beneath without being asked. She let him. The blossoms drifted down his neck and back, small and quiet and entirely indifferent to everything that had just happened. She sat in the saddle and breathed. Should we start a fire? She said quietly to Franklin, to herself, to no one. No, that'll only give Ohtheastudios too much of a position. They both lay beneath in the tree. The blossoms settled on her face like something gentle that had no opinion on war. She looked up through the branches at the sky. No artificial blue light here, just black, neutral, calm, and full of stars. I have to tell the Order. All of them! Her eyes strayed on the stars until they didn't. When she opened them, the The darkness had softened into a pale morning light filtering through the cherry blossoms. The air was cool and faintly sweet. She sat up. "Come on, Franklin." He was already awake. Castile appeared on the horizon as the road rose, golden familiar and suddenly precise, in a way it hadn't been before she left. Franklin carried her the rest of the way without complaint. He had earned it. She came down fast into the Lucian mare. Jahada was already there. "Jahada!" Avenya's voice filled the hall. "We need to mobilize our forces. Ohtheastudios is planning an invasion." Avenya, Jahada's voice was calm, careful. "We must speak with the others first, please." They walked together through the halls of polished marble, Roman pillars, paintings of victories, the art and decor Avenya had grown up surrounded by. A wave of nostalgia moved through her quietly. The old times, before the banishment, before everything. She found herself noticing how beautiful Jahada looked. But that thought was cut short. "Avenya, what have you done?" Lyris's voice came from across the great hall like a blade. "We must fight Menonimon," Avenya said firmly. "We have no other choice." "Enough!" Lyris stepped forward. "You crossed into a foreign nation's city, you attacked their guards, and now you return here with claims of an invasion to pressure us into launching a war?" "Lyris, I know you don't trust me, but please, you have to understand what I saw. Avenya." Solora's voice was quieter, but no less firm. "I'm sorry, but you need evidence. Even if everything you are saying is true, the citizens would never support an invasion based on your world alone. You are dismissed." Lyris's jaw was set. "You are fortunate that we are not arresting you." Avenya looked at both of them for a moment. "Fine." She turned toward the door. "You will be the reason why this city falls."